Perez Hilton, the icon, the legend. Thank you for being here on After Curfew.
I am so happy to be here and to take a break from everything Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Although I appreciate so much that they are keeping me busy, it's nice to just feel human for a moment and have a conversation about something other than that, because I am so invested.
No, I mean, just a quick deep breath in and out. That was actually going to be my first topic, though.
All right,
Perez.
well, we could talk about
So
it.
you got to dive back into the trauma and drama, babe.
You know, I was just on Court TV and
Okay.
they had, you know what? I have to be honest.
Okay.
This is not a diss towards them. I am so grateful that I was invited on Court TV to discuss Justin Baldoni and his lawsuit against Blake Lively and her lawsuit against him and all the other parties involved as well. But the previous commentators that were on the segments before mine clearly did not know much about the case. They weren't very well informed or spoken about what was going on. I have read everything. I have poured countless hours into being the most informed person on everything Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, and parties.
I mean, I just saw, I think it was Friday, there was like receipts, proof, timeline, like everything. I think Justin's team came out with everything, basically, correct?
He finally dropped that website that he, and through his attorney, had said that he would be coming out with all of the receipts, proof, timeline. It's still up. The gag order that her team wanted against his lawyer was denied. So you can go to thelawsuitinfo.com to see it for yourself. It's not that splashy. It's basically just click here to look at the amended lawsuit with the timeline of events. But if you're bored and you have a couple of hours, his timeline of events is so thorough and includes so much previously unseen evidence, that's submitted to court, from text messages to emails. Especially eye-opening to me were all of the email communications from Sony, the film's distributor, to his production company, to him, to his producing partner. They were in my opinion, afraid of Blake Lively as he was. Sony was just the distributor and one of the financiers of the movie, but they spent a lot of money in this project. They were just worried that they wouldn't be able to finish production. And then even post-production, she was making threats after threat after threat and doing things on her own without the permission of the studio. It's just mind-blowing that she would behave so unprofessionally, in my opinion, towards so many parties. But, and I could literally yap about this for an hour nonstop. I'm breathing. Hollywood, the system is built to enable this kind of egomaniacal behavior. There are so many public instances of celebrities doing things like this. Even last year, somebody as beloved as The Rock finally started to get some negative attention because news burst into the real world that he was showing up really late to set, like hours late. And then all of the parties involved in that movie were making excuses for him publicly. Of course, he's no, you show up on time, and on time means early, especially with a big budget movie where every minute costs thousands of dollars and they have everything planned ahead of time. Yeah. So, for a very long time, my mantra regarding Blake and Justin was, I'm not on Team Blake. I'm not on Team Justin. I'm on Team The Truth. Mm-hmm. But there's this very famous quote from Desmond Tutu that says, I'm paraphrasing, when you're faced with injustice, if you remain silent, you are siding with the oppressor. And I don't want to be on the side of the oppressor. And in my opinion, the oppressor is Blake Lively and her husband as well. So I am firmly on Team Baldoni now. And I am very much looking forward to hopefully this ending up in court. Although the scheduled start is not till March of 2026.
Oh, I thought it was March 2025.
I wish. Oh my
I know. I'm
God.
like, I have my popcorn ready, my martini in my hand. No, it is. It's just gone so far where I don't. Well, have you seen the movie?
I haven't even seen the movie. That's the most
Oh my God.
hilarious
The
part of
drama.
it.
This is better than the movie. The movie
Yes.
sucked. It was absolutely awful. I watched it last week because I was bored and I was like, all this for this? Absolutely not. But I will say, I mean, it's just turned into a whole thing. It's like Amber Heard 2.0 at this point for
But
me.
bigger. I think
Yeah.
the reason this is bigger, and I have spent way too much time thinking about this and analyzing it, this particular story truly feels like a modern day David versus Goliath. Justin Baldoni, in the eyes of the public, is David. And then you have this power couple, friends of Taylor Swift, really, really, really rich, that are Goliath, that tried to squash him and exert their power. Literally, he is alleging not just defamation, but also extortion. And I think they mistook his kindness for weakness.
Yeah. Sometimes a lot of celebrities feel that they're so untouchable. You're so high up. You're this like power couple. I mean, Blake being married to Ryan Reynolds. Hello? Why can I not say his name? Ryan Reynolds. There we go. It's you think that you're just in this bubble and nothing can touch you. But no, the truth, like you said, it will come out. And you've read it. You took the time to read it. Thank God, because
Well,
I'm not. But
prior to
it's crazy.
prior to this past weekend, when Baldoni's lawyer sent in the amended lawsuit to the judge in New York overseeing the consolidated federal cases, I thought to myself, you know what? She will be fine. She'll be fine. So long as she stays married to Ryan Reynolds, she'll be okay. But now, I don't think she'll be fine. And the perfect example, this just now, I don't know when this airs. So I'm trying to speak
Next week.
generally.
Next week. Yeah.
Very recently, Amazon Prime posted on their social media a poster for Blake Lively's next movie. She's starring in Another Simple Favor, I believe is the name
There's
of
a
it.
part two?
Yeah, yeah. And Anna Kendrick is in the movie with her again. And the comments the comments on Blake Lively's IG are limited, so the general public can't leave comments. But this was a post originated from Prime Video. So the comments are open, and 95% of the comments have been roasting her, roasting the movie. So it's already had a direct impact on her career and his as well. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Justin Baldoni was set to direct a big budget adaptation of the video game Pac-Man. And he was let go from that because of the Blake Lively of it all. So it's affecting both of them, and perhaps him even more so because she's uber wealthy and he is not.
Yeah. And you just wonder, can you bounce back from that? Like with him, he was dropped from, I think he was with CAA. Like he got dropped from
William
that, got
Morris,
dropped from the
yeah.
Pac-Man movie. It's just, when does it end? It's already gone too far. I feel like you would just want to like hit the reverse button at this point, because I think she thought it was going to go one way. It was going to play out in her favor. And I don't see it happening that way anymore, which is crazy. Because when this news first came out, I'm always like, believe women first. And I don't, maybe that's a bad way to be, but that's just how I feel. But after everything, it's like, ooh, this is really distasteful and quite fucked up, to be honest.
Agree.
It's mental.
I was on the side of being very sympathetic to her and really believing her, especially when she filed the complaint in early December before she filed a lawsuit against Baldoni, because that initial complaint in California had a lot of information, which we then learned was very selective. It was snippets of much longer text messages. And then the full context said, oh, but I didn't actually plant that. I can't take credit for that. I didn't do that. We're just joking. It's like shocking to me that she and her legal team have mishandled this all repeatedly, so epically.
I mean, I guess time will tell what the truth will behold, but it's the proof is kind of in the pudding at this point. Let's move on to Wendy Williams, because you were on her show. She is such an icon to me. What are your thoughts on this? Like, I listened to The Breakfast Club. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. They came out with an interview, and she sounded cohesive, fun, like humorous. Like the Wendy, slightly off, but I think anybody would be if they're being abused in a conservatorship. But what are your thoughts on all of that?
I have to remind everybody the saddest part of this to me is that Wendy Williams is only 60 years old. That's not exceptionally old. It's not even retirement age, really. And she has described her current situation under the guardianship in New York as living in a luxury prison. What kind of a life is that? Having to get permission from a judge to go down to Florida to celebrate her father's 90th birthday. I understand if there were some instances in the past of financial exploitation and being worried for that, and her, but I think there needs to be a better system in place for her that lets her be with her loved ones, not under this guardian who is not affiliated with her family, who really doesn't care for her, is just doing a job and getting a paycheck. There needs to be some other way for her money to be protected, but also for her to be loved and cared for and have freedom. Free Britney, we did that. I really think we need to free Wendy.
More than, I mean, yes, free Britney. I am the biggest Britney stan like ever, but with Britney, there is something like I mean, I like
Yeah.
cry when I think about Britney Spears. It's just such a sad,
Britney,
sad story.
Britney, Brittany will always need help. And I think that's not a negative thing to say. She suffers
Right,
from severe mental illness.
right.
However, according to Wendy Williams' Guardian, there are a lot of similarities. It has been said in court by this woman who has no blood relation to Wendy that she has dementia and that she is permanently incapacitated. She might have good days and bad days, is what the lawyer for the Guardian alleges. I still think that situation isn't working for her and it needs to change.
Right. And how does it even get that far? That's what I think is
Because
so
of the bank.
disturbing. How do we
The,
get there?
the bank noticed that there were these big charges happening and the bank meddled in her family business, which I don't know if that's the bank's place to meddle in her family. Is even if her son was financially exploiting her, is that the bank's business? I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, I feel like family is family. Like, why are we intervening? Like, that's something that I understand if she's can't, like speak or can't like verbalize like, hey, this is you guys are taking advantage of me. But now she's severely taken advantage. And like you said, the luxury prison. She doesn't even have a cell phone. I don't believe. Like they said that she didn't even have a TV. It's just like it's
No
abuse. Like I
Wi-Fi.
understand monitor her like monitor the money. Sure, I can understand that.
Yes.
Maybe put like a cap on how much she can spend, but putting her into a home.
With
This is
much
Wendy
older people.
fucking
Yeah.
Williams. It's just so insane. And then on top of that, it's like the shit that she had to go through with her ex-husband. Is that not her ex-husband? I hope so. But it's it's
Yes.
it's just absolutely insane.
And I do worry also, I love Wendy. She's an icon, but she was no Oprah, meaning Oprah has FU money in the bank. I don't
Yeah.
know if Wendy has unlimited resources, like
Right.
who is paying for everything? Who's paying, having to pay for the guardian? The assisted care facility might not be cheap, and then everything else. Like I still worry about her finances, even with this guardian. And, just hope for the best. She doesn't deserve this, I believe.
Free Britney, hashtag free Wendy. Absolutely. Okay. We got to talk about the Grammys for a hot minute because
Let's.
Bianca non-sensory. What in the hell was that? What like
Well,
first of all,
actually,
how is that even allowed? But yeah,
I
what are your
love,
thoughts? Did you like it? Do you think it was like cunt? Did you think it was fun? What was the
I'm so thankful to be chatting with a woman right now. I'm clearly not, but correct me if my assessment is wrong. Okay. I've observed that a lot of people, a lot of women have been speculating about Bianca, and that Kanye is forcing her to do this, and that she doesn't like it, and that she's doing it against her will, and all of these things. Is it even speculating in that manner anti-feminist?
I mean, I don't know. I just think it's just an interesting. I feel like their dynamic is just so. I don't know. I just think that she is like the puppet of him.
Here's what I think. She first encountered Kanye as his employee, had a working relationship with him. She's a highly educated, mature woman in her 30s who knew what she was signing up for, knew what Kanye was like. By the time they got together, they, you know, Kanye was already off the rails. He was already saying the Hitler things and all of that. And she's still been with him,
Yeah.
even though, I don't know if even Kanye's got a lot of drama. It's not just Justin and Blake. Over the last year and a half, he's been slapped with multiple lawsuits from former employees at that horrific school that he was running for a while, Donda Academy. I think one or two employees at Yeezy also sued him, even alleging that he and Bianca have an open relationship. You may not have seen, but at one of the after parties, Kanye was there with Bianca. She was smiling, having the best time. She was licking Kanye. To me, it is possible that coercion is going on, but I don't know. I think assuming the worst in this situation takes away her agency, and I I think that's an anti-feminist thought. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. I'm not a woman.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, she's a grown ass woman. She's in her 30s. She's clearly cohesive and smart. Like, maybe this is what she wants to do. Why are we sitting here bashing
I'm
her choice I mean, the body's banging. The
and I'm
body's
also
absolutely fucking key.
I'm
But
95% sure she's still on the payroll. So,
oh, for sure she's getting paid. And
yeah.
I hope that she got a bag for that, because I'm not showing my ass for nothing. Like, please. And the tits too. I'm like, girl.
But, Kanye got what he wanted. He didn't even go to the awards show. He just went to do the red carpet and cause a scene. And then on social media, he was boasting about how his wife got more searches on Google than the Grammys itself.
Yeah.
He
And I'm
shared
sure it did.
screenshots. He posted the Google Analytics, like, look at this. I think it's sad, because I remember back in the day when Kanye used to be a respected musician and used to be considered cool. Now he's a Kardashian who has to resort to stunts like this to get attention.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's bizarre. And the fact that he didn't even go to the award show, was he not invited? I saw some stuff that he was kicked out. I think that came to be false, but
he was not invited. That is correct. The executive producer of the Grammys went on the record to say that he was not supposed to be at the actual show, that they know all of the VIP tables, they're numbered, they know who is sitting where, and it's possible that he was invited and he had chosen not to go, but ahead of time, he had not communicated with the Grammys that he was going to be at the show. And the category that he was nominated in was done during the pre-telecast. So there was no reason for him to be there. That's why he wasn't performing or presenting or possibly accepting an award during the main telecast.
then I guess no point of being there. But it's just Kanye will always fascinate me in the worst way, because I'll never comprehend it. But moving on to the other people at the Grammys, what was your favorite look?
My favorite look was Sabrina Carpenter, because she had so many. Like, I loved all of her looks. Like, it was all equally amazing, from her red carpet look to her performance looks, plural, to her win acceptance look. It was, a glittering diamond moment throughout. It was very Satine and Moulin Rouge, but it was also like the opposite. It was everything that Bianca Censori or Kanye wished for. Because especially her red carpet look, it was super sexy, but also very classy at the same time. Like it showed a lot, and like the back was like almost down to her crack, but it was exquisite. It was classy, it was sexy, it was beautiful. It was giving me, Madonna, Marilyn Monroe vibes. I loved it. I also loved Chappell Roan giving us art, like literally, out of a painting she looked
Right.
like. And I loved her performance look as well. And I loved Doechii. My favorite performance was Sabrina, and my second favorite was Doechii, and then Chappell
Mhm.
was third. But it was a great night, and I felt really joyous watching it. So I was thankful that it aired, and they didn't cancel it or move it months down the line because of the fires in Los
There's
Angeles.
Yeah, I absolutely loved Chappell's performance. I feel like that was the first, like, because she's young, but she's like really stepping into her own now. So you could just tell, like, each time she performs live, she's just really
Yes.
owning it, which I
Yes.
loved. And then Sabrina Carpenter is just an absolute performer, like through and through. So good. She looked like an angel floating on a cloud, like just perfection. Doechii too. And I love that something was just going viral with her where she posted a video, I think it was like a vlog about her getting fired. And then
Yep.
she's like, I'll just start going to the music like industry places, like whatever. I have
And
nothing to
that was
lose.
only like 4.5 years ago. She got fired.
Crazy.
And then 4.5 years later, look at her now. And
Right.
I actually, I,
Rejection,
I
redirection.
started crying when she brought her mother up on stage with
Me
her. I was like,
too.
oh,
I'm like, is this my period or am I like just emotional? No, she deserves everything. And it will be really cool to see how her career manifests because she is
oh, she's
a
going to be
star.
massive because she's
Yeah, she'll be
truly
huge.
talented. She's truly talented and also creative. And I love that she mentioned that she's sober. Oftentimes, substances distract artists and become a real problem in their careers. So I love that she's laser focused on winning. And when you make that your mission and you're clear, you will win.
Yeah, agreed. We're gonna move to some hot topics.
Let's do it. Well, we've been already doing
Hot
hot
takes.
topics.
Oh yeah,
Let's
no,
get
sorry, not. I don't even know what I'm saying. We're gonna move
quick
to some
fix.
rapid fire hot takes
I love
with
it.
Perez Hilton. Okay, are you ready? Who is the most overrated celebrity in Hollywood?
Overrated. Let me think. Oh God, oh my God. I can't be stumped off the first one. Okay. It
Say it.
sucks because I love her. Jennifer Hudson. You know how they always ask her to sing in those tributes? And I love Jennifer Hudson, but there are so much better vocalists out there. Like, actually, I don't even love her as a singer. She overdoes it a lot. But I love her personality and I love her as a person. And she's a great singer, but she's not my favorite vocalist. There we
Okay.
go. She's
So the
overrated.
hype, you just think it's overhyped.
Yes.
Okay, period. Okay.
Controversial hot take. There we
I'm like,
go.
don't cancel us. Okay.
But I love J Hud. I love
No,
her.
she's beautiful. She's a great actress as well.
Yeah.
Like she's got a lot going for her, but I can understand. I can understand your take. I
All right.
second you. Okay. If you had to expose a huge industry secret, what would it be?
I'm going
Aesthetically?
to I'm going to on my Patreon show actually. So if you want to
Plug it.
hear, I've already teased it. And actually, this week and next week, I have two separate big scoops that I'm going to share, exclusives just for my Patreon audience. Patreon.com/Perez Hilton. Name drop.
Got it. Love it. Okay. We gotta tune in.
Plug,
Okay.
shameless. You got to be
You gotta
shameless.
plug. You gotta plug. You gotta do it. Okay. If or which celebrity nice guy is actually an absolute nightmare behind
Ryan
the scenes?
Reynolds.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Didn't even take a thought,
Mm,
breath.
yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I really do feel, and not just, I've heard things about him, like little things, and I'm like, he seems like such a nice guy. But after all this crap that's coming out,
I
it's like,
mean,
oh,
Blake Lively actually pulled a Ryan Reynolds. Everything that she did on the set and pre-production and post-production involved with It Ends With Us, he did that as well in the very first Deadpool movie. He took control over the director, Tim Miller. And that's why Tim Miller didn't come back for any of the subsequent sequels, which is very unusual. If you have a huge blockbuster that makes all this money, the director attached to the film, not always, but most of the time, comes back to do the sequels. Tim Miller didn't return because, according to on-set insiders, he did everything that Blake Lively did to Tim Miller.
Yeah, there is something that's a little bit off. And again, I just think these coming months into the trial, so much will come to light. And I think they thought it was going to go one way, and who knows? It might, but it might not. And that's a career. People can get canceled. People can cause a scene and you bounce back a lot of times. You know, Hollywood's very forgiving. Like, we're very forgiving. We forget about shit. This is something I don't know. I think Justin Baldoni his career might elevate. I don't know about them.
I might revise myself yet again.
Okay.
I reserve the right to constantly change my mind. And I just have to remind us all, the bar is Mel Gibson. So the bar is in the freaking gutter, okay? This is a man who pled guilty to domestic violence, who was caught on camera saying anti-Semitic, homophobic, and racist things. And despite being a woman beater, a racist, homophobe, anti-Semite, Mel Gibson continues to have a successful Hollywood career. So the bar is Mel Gibson.
That's low. Yeah. And that's just the thing. People do forget. He was just in a Halloween movie, I think, a couple months back, like in October. I mean, we're not keeping up with it because we don't care.
No.
But it's just really, the bar is low, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to side tangent into Diddy, but we're going to keep going with the hot topics. Oh, but maybe we can.
Yeah, we can talk about Diddy. I think personally, I have Diddy fatigue. Like, are you there yet?
I'm getting there. I am. It's just every day. I'm like, I kind of skim through the headlines now because I'm like, what else? Okay, another one. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Not being like these are serious allegations, but how many? And what is going on? And why is I feel like there's no action. There's so many things happening. What the fuck is going on? What's being he's hanging out.
The most important thing is the federal trial against him, and that's not scheduled to start until May of this year. But there's extremely low possibility that he will be out of prison. He will most likely spend the rest of his days behind bars if he chooses to stay alive. He might Jeffrey Epstein himself.
Right. And who knows what the tea was on that too. I'm a little bit of was this a conspiracy? I don't know. But yeah, Diddy, I mean, he's going to be with R. Kelly and just.
I really feel for his young daughters, especially. You know, they have no mother and now their father's Diddy.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this the other day because his wife passed away from a flu, correct?
Well, they were never married. And
they weren't. Okay.
She's also an alleged victim of Diddy's too. It's widely speculated.
Yeah.
But there's all, I am not a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
However, I'm definitely open to, there was a lot of shadiness with the death of Kim Porter.
Right.
So I do want to be respectful and mindful of her children. She also had boys with Diddy, and they did feel compelled to release a statement saying that, these rumors are hurtful and not true, and let our mother rest in peace.
Right. Yeah, I know. I think sometimes when you're removed from it, it's like, yeah, these are people that have feelings, emotions, and children, and we'll let it rest. But it is, I've heard, the conspiracy theories are conspiracing. So I'm like, ooh.
I've heard them. That apparently the coroner was the same one who did Brittany Murphy.
Okay, well, that's just too much tea then. Then we have to look into it. That's crazy.
You should, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then you'll spill the tea on your Patreon. Okay. Right. Moving on. Who is the most two-faced celebrity that you have ever met?
Lady Gaga.
Period. Please tell.
we had a very public falling out, and
Mhm.
I say that and not in a mean way. I don't harbor any ill will or resentment towards her. I just naively, stupidly thought that she was my real friend. And not until much later did I realize, oh no, she was just using me. And that's fine. I was friends with her before she was known. She was a total unknown, and we were friends. And then she became the biggest pop star on the planet. And I was wrong about her. And it is what it is, but I wish her well. And I'm proud of the fact that I saw something in her. I knew she was a star. I knew she was very talented. And I played a big part in helping before anybody else knew her.
I didn't know you guys. I knew you were friends and had a fallout. I didn't know you guys went so back before she was even
Oh, yeah.
any
And
Lady Gaga.
we were more than friends. Like I used to call her my wifey, and we would talk on the phone
Oh,
and text like every day.
is there any chance that you guys would be able to rekindle, you think?
I don't want that, but I would definitely like to have just like a conversation because I'm still, I've let go. I'm not sad or angry, but I'm still hurt. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not
Totally.
sad or angry, but I'm still hurt. And I think maybe she might be as well. And I would like for us each to leave that conversation perhaps feeling less hurt.
Just having
Maybe
like,
she'll say, you know what? No, you got it wrong. I was your real friend. And I'm like, really? Well, you didn't act like it. Like, so I don't know. I've reached out, I've tried to extend an olive branch because I'm older. I'm old. I'm not even older. I'm old now.
no, you are
I'm
not.
I'm nearing 50 and I've got three grown children, basically. Not really, but my son's about to turn 12.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
and I definitely I I I can acknowledge some mistakes that I made, and I'm she made mistakes too, and that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. I just hope she would know I truly wasn't being malicious, but I do believe she was. But I understand that she was also acting out of a place of hurt, and she was also struggling with addiction at the time. I understand that. She's talked about it. She's talked about, self-medicating during that very quick rise to fame. So I'm not spilling any out of school tea. So yeah, I don't know. I'm down if she wants to have a kiki.
Yeah. I mean, and I think also friends sometimes are just seasons. And
Yeah.
you can walk away from something being like, I'm still hurt. I forgive you. I've moved forward, but
Yes.
still not for me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we could ever really be friends anymore because why? Like
Right.
I'm Latino and I'm very Latino. Like once the trust is broken, I don't believe in you can't mend trust. The trust is broken. She's dead to me as a friend, but she can be a cordial acquaintance. Like, oh, hey, if I see her out and about or whatever, good to see you. All is well. Fabulous. But I've actually never ran into her since 2011.
Wow. That's insane. You would think you'd be always crossing
I
paths.
run into everybody else. Like, Katy Perry and I used to be very close also back in the day, but we never had a falling out. It was just it became difficult, because I still had to do my job of covering her. And like even things like covering her marriage to Russell Brand and all of the headlines. And it's hard talking about these people that are your friends. And we're very friendly. If I see Katie, we'll hug, we'll chat. There was no falling out. With Gaga, there was a falling out.
Right. Yeah. No, your job is so interesting because you mingle with the celebrities, but then you have to report on it and you have to give your opinion, your 2 cents. And sometimes the 2 cents is not in favor of that
Yeah.
person. It's
Even
hard. Like you feel kind of like
even
alienated.
something,
I would,
yeah, even something, like, oh, Rihanna, let's say randomly. Oh, Rihanna released a new song. Ugh, I don't like the new Rihanna song. She might be upset hearing me say I don't like her new song, even though I love Rihanna.
right. Yeah. How do you like combat that? Like, are you just like,
I just don't
sorry,
even
this is
try.
my
I don't even
opinion?
care. I'm not about having celebrity friends anymore. I'm just
Yeah, I
about
feel
my
like you
kids.
can't because it does
Yeah.
get messy. I can't imagine like it would get so messy. But
Yeah.
I
But
mean, you've been doing this since the early 2000s, I would say.
since 2004. And I'm just grateful that 21 years later, I'm still here. I'm still getting asked to do things like this. So thank
Mm,
you.
thank
Um,
you.
and that people are still supporting me so that I can support my family. You know, it's a
Yeah.
family business. My mom works with me, my sister works with me, my mom lives with me, and I pay all her bills. And I've got 3 young children. So I'm grateful that I wake up every morning with gratitude in my heart and I still enjoy what I do all these years later.
Yeah, and it shows because I mean, I'm somebody who I followed you from the early 2000s growing up, watching the tabloids, seeing like all the stuff that you do. You are truly amazing. You are basically, you were like the first influencer, in my opinion. You
I
started, you
was.
set the tone, babe. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Like Paris Hilton took the first selfie, Perez, first influencer for
I
sure.
really was. There wasn't even that word back then. When I came on the scene, they used to call me web celeb, which I love that little
Not a web
expression.
celeb. I love that.
Uh,
Bring that back.
I
That's
know,
got a
bring
ring
it
to it.
back.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to keep you. I know you got to go. But thank you, Perez, for hopping on, taking the time to yap, hot topics, spill the tea. It's been absolute joy and just yeah, I'm just so excited that we were able to talk.
Well, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you and your audience, and we'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All
Yay.
right.